Wake up and work hard. The secret to unstoppable success. Golden key. To prosperity, success is not a complex puzzle reserved for a fortunate few, nor is it an exclusive prize destined only for the elite. Success is straightforward, yet it demands relentless effort. It's not about shortcuts, hidden secrets, or effortless paths. At its core, success hinges on one fundamental principle: consistent, disciplined, and focused hard work, day in and day out. This is the foundation of unstoppable achievement, the key that unlocks potential, and the force that separates those who merely dream from those who achieve. Many people fall short of their goals, not because they lack talent or resources, but because they shy away from the grind when it matters most. They wait for the spark of motivation, hoping to feel inspired or for circumstances to align perfectly. They sit idle, expecting life to become easier or opportunities to fall into their laps. This waiting game is their downfall. Motivation is fleeting. It ebbs and flows like the tide. If you only work when you feel driven, you'll remain stuck, tethered to a cycle of inaction. Those who rise to the top don't rely on fleeting emotions. They show up regardless of how they feel, tired, uninspired, or overwhelmed. They push forward when the path is steep and the rewards are distant. They refuse to settle for a life of mediocrity, choosing instead to embrace the discomfort that growth demands. The gap between success and stagnation lies in the willingness to push through resistance. Most people convince themselves they're working hard enough, but deep down, they know they're holding back. They could do more, be more, achieve more, but they don't. They let excuses creep in, blaming their circumstances, their schedules, or their lack of immediate results. But excuses are the crutches of failure. The truth is, success doesn't care about your reasons. It only responds to your actions. The ability to outwork everyone else, not just for a day or a week, but consistently, over years, is what sets winners apart. Hard work isn't glamorous. It's not about fleeting moments of intensity or bursts of effort that leave you exhausted. It's about showing up early, staying late, and grinding when no one is watching. It's sacrificing comfort for progress, staying disciplined when results are invisible, and finding the strength to keep going when exhaustion sets in. Why do so few reach the pinnacle of success? Because hard work demands discomfort, and most people are unwilling to pay that price. They love to talk about their dreams, their goals, their grand plans, but when it comes to the daily grind, they falter. Talking is easy. Planning is easy. Execution is hard. The successful don't waste time dreaming, they act. They understand that talent alone is not enough. Hard work will always outshine talent when talent refuses to put in the effort. You can be the most gifted person in the room, but if someone else is more disciplined, more consistent, and more focused, they will surpass you every time. Talent without effort is wasted potential, a spark that never ignites into a flame. Hard work is the great equalizer. You can't control where you were born, the opportunities handed to you, or the natural gifts you possess. But you can control your effort. You can decide to outwork everyone around you. You can choose to wake up every day and push yourself beyond your limits. Most people, however, aren't willing to go that far. They say they want success, but they're not prepared to sacrifice for it. They crave the rewards without enduring the struggle. They want greatness without the grind. That's why they remain average, stuck in a cycle of unfulfilled potential, forever talking about what could have been. The path to success is not easy, and it never will be. Those who achieve greatness wake up every day and do the work, no matter the obstacles. They don't wait for motivation or perfect conditions. They know that success is built on discipline, not fleeting inspiration. Discipline is what drives you to act when you're tired, when you're discouraged, when doubt creeps in. It's the ability to execute even when you feel like quitting. This is the edge that separates winners from the rest, the willingness to work harder, longer, and smarter than everyone else. The price of success is steep. It demands sacrifice, discomfort, and relentless consistency. If you're not willing to pay that price, you'll never reach your full potential. But if you commit to outworking everyone else, If you embrace discomfort and push through resistance, there's no limit to what you can achieve. You'll rise above the competition, create opportunities others only dream of, and build a life most will never experience. Success isn't about luck or talent, it's about how hard you're willing to work. Hard work isn't a one-time event or a short sprint. It's a lifestyle, a mindset, a daily commitment to push yourself, especially when you don't feel like it. Most people mistakenly believe success comes from big, dramatic moments, a lucky break, a perfect opportunity, a single game-changing decision. But that's a myth. Success is forged in the small, consistent actions you take every day. It's the quiet progress made when no one is watching, the incremental steps that build momentum over time. Most people fail because they're inconsistent. They work hard when they're motivated, when things are exciting, or when results seem imminent. But as soon as the excitement fades, as soon as resistance appears, they slow down. They look for shortcuts or easier paths, and in doing so, they sabotage their own progress. Real hard work is about consistency, not intensity. It's not about burning yourself out in a single burst of effort. It's about showing up every day, even when you're tired, even when you're not seeing results, even when it feels like nothing is working. The successful have trained themselves to push forward, regardless of their emotions. They work when they're exhausted, when they're discouraged, when the world seems to be against them. This level of discipline is rare, and that's why so few people reach the highest levels of success. Most people are slaves to their emotions. If they feel tired, they stop. If they feel uninspired, they pause. If they face setbacks, they give up. But the winners are different. They're not controlled by how they feel, they're driven by their commitment to their vision. They understand that success isn't about waiting for the right mood or the perfect moment. It's about doing the work, day after day, regardless of circumstances. When you let your emotions dictate your actions, you're setting yourself up for failure. But when you let discipline take the wheel, you become unstoppable. The journey to success is filled with resistance, and that resistance often comes in the form of doubt. Doubt creeps in when results are slow to appear, when progress feels stagnant, or when setbacks pile up. Most people let doubt derail them. They start questioning their path, wondering if they're doing something wrong or if success is even possible. But doubt only thrives in hesitation. The antidote to doubt is action. When you're moving forward, when you're executing relentlessly, doubt has no room to take root. A strong work ethic suffocates doubt, leaving no space for fear or insecurity. When you're locked in, pushing yourself to the limit, you're too busy to question yourself. Success requires patience, a virtue most people lack. They're addicted to instant gratification, expecting immediate results from their efforts. When those results don't materialize, they jump ship, chasing the next shiny strategy or quick fix. But success isn't about speed. It's about endurance. It's about staying committed through the early stages of struggle, when progress is invisible and resistance is at its peak. The successful understand that results are the byproduct of consistent effort over time. They trust the process, even when it feels like nothing is happening. They know that growth happens beneath the surface, and if they keep pushing, the breakthrough will come. Most people quit just before the tipping point. They stop when things feel stagnant, convinced that their efforts aren't working. But the truth is, they're often one step away from a breakthrough. The momentum they've been building is about to kick in, but they give up too soon. They let their emotions override their discipline, allowing doubt and frustration to pull them off track. The successful, however, don't make this mistake. They stay focused, trusting that their hard work is laying the foundation for future success. They understand that results come last, and the work always comes first. Discipline is the cornerstone of success. Motivation fades, but discipline endures. It's what keeps you moving when you're tired, when you're discouraged, when you feel like you have nothing left to give. Discipline is the ability to execute even when the rewards are nowhere in sight. It's the commitment to show up every day, to do the work, to push through the discomfort. Most people think successful people are always motivated, but that's a misconception. The successful have simply mastered the art of working without motivation. They've built habits of execution, conditioning themselves to perform at a high level no matter how they feel. Excuses are the enemy of progress. Most people don't want to admit they're not working hard enough, so they invent reasons to justify their inaction. They blame their busy schedules, their circumstances, or their lack of resources. But none of these matter. The only thing that matters is whether you're willing to do the work. If you're willing to outwork everyone else, you'll win. The hard days, the ones when you're exhausted, discouraged, or ready to quit, are the ones that define you. Anyone can work hard when things are going well, but the successful keep pushing when everything is falling apart. Failure is another hurdle most people can't overcome. They see failure as a sign of inadequacy, a reason to stop. But the successful view failure as feedback, a necessary part of growth. Every setback, every mistake, every rejection is a lesson that makes you stronger, smarter, and more resilient. The winners don't fear failure, they embrace it. They understand that the path to success is paved with failures, and each one brings them closer to their goal. Most people want perfection, avoiding mistakes at all costs. But perfection is a myth. The successful aren't trying to be perfect, they're trying to improve, using every failure as a stepping stone. The opinions of others can also be a trap. When you start working harder than everyone else, you'll face criticism. People will call you obsessed, tell you to slow down, or question why you're pushing so hard. This isn't because they want to harm you, it's because your growth makes them uncomfortable. Your discipline highlights their lack of effort, and instead of raising their standards, they'll try to pull you back to their level. But you can't let their doubts derail you. Success isn't a team sport. You're not working for their approval, you're working for your future. Protect your vision, guard your energy, and stay focused on your path, no matter who tries to pull you off course. Developing tunnel vision is critical. You can't afford to be distracted by the noise of others' opinions or the temptation to fit in. Most people compromise their ambitions to be liked, to blend in, to avoid standing out. But the successful aren't worried about being popular. They're focused on winning. They set standards so high that others can't comprehend their level of commitment. They don't lower their expectations to match those around them. They raise the bar, holding themselves to a level of execution that most can't sustain. The reality of success is that it's not about being the smartest or the most talented. It's about being the most consistent, the most disciplined, the most resilient. It's about working harder than everyone else, not just for a short burst, but for years. It's about showing up when you're tired, when you're discouraged, when it feels like nothing is working. The successful don't rely on luck or natural gifts, they rely on their work ethic. They understand that success is a choice, a daily decision to push through resistance, to stay disciplined, and to keep going when others quit. When you face setbacks, when rejection hits, when everything seems to be falling apart, that's when your true character is tested. Most people crumble under pressure, slowing down when things get tough. But the winners push harder. They raise their standards when the resistance intensifies. They know that the breakthrough always comes after the struggle, that the moment you feel like quitting is the moment you need to double down. Success isn't about how you perform when things are easy. It's about how you respond when everything is falling apart. You must become comfortable with discomfort. Most people avoid it, craving ease and instant gratification. But success demands that you lean into the pain, that you work when you're exhausted, that you stay focused when distractions are everywhere. Hard work isn't glamorous. It's early mornings, late nights, and long hours of focused effort. It's saying no to distractions, sacrificing short-term comfort for long-term gains, and training your mind to stay locked in when everything around you is pulling you off track. The truth is, you already know what you need to do. The problem isn't a lack of knowledge, it's a lack of execution. Most people know the habits they need to build, the changes they need to make, the work that needs to be done. But they lack the discipline to follow through. They let resistance, doubt, or distractions stop them. You can't afford to make that mistake. You must become ruthless about your standards, refusing to lower them to match those around you. You must stop seeking validation. Stop explaining yourself. Stop waiting for approval. Your job is to stay focused, to keep executing, to keep pushing, no matter what. Success is not about how much you want it, it's about how much you're willing to suffer for it. Most people want the rewards, but aren't willing to endure the pain. They want the results without the struggle, the victory without the fight. But greatness requires sacrifice. It requires you to push through discomfort, to keep going when you feel like you have nothing left, to stay disciplined when the world is telling you to quit. The question isn't whether you want to succeed, it's whether you're willing to pay the price. The path to success is already there. The opportunities are waiting. The results are possible. The only thing standing in your way is your willingness to work harder than everyone else. Most people will never reach their potential because they're not willing to push through the resistance, to stay disciplined when motivation fades, to endure the struggle that growth demands. But you are different. You are not controlled by your emotions, by the opinions of others, or by temporary setbacks. You are driven by your vision, your discipline, your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. At the end of the day, success is a choice. You can choose comfort or you can choose growth. You can choose excuses or you can choose execution. The winners aren't the ones who had it easy, who were naturally gifted, or who had the best resources. They're the ones who decided to work harder than everyone else, every single day, no matter the obstacles. They made the choice to keep going, to stay disciplined, to push through the resistance, and that's why they won. Now it's your turn. The path is clear, the opportunities are there, and the potential is within you. The question is simple. Are you willing to work hard enough to claim it? Are you willing to push yourself beyond your limits, to stay disciplined when things get tough, to keep going when everyone else has stopped? If you are, if you stay locked in, if you keep executing, success will become inevitable. Not because of luck, not because of talent, but because you were willing to outwork everyone else. That is the secret to unstoppable success. Let's dive deeper into what it means to embrace this mindset. Hard work isn't just about physical effort, it's about mental toughness, emotional resilience, and an unwavering commitment to your goals. It's about building a foundation so strong that no setback, no criticism, no failure can shake it. Most people underestimate the power of consistency. They think success requires grand gestures or monumental efforts, but the truth is far simpler. It's the small daily actions, done relentlessly over time, that create the momentum needed to achieve greatness. Consider the concept of momentum. In the early stages of any pursuit, progress feels slow, almost invisible. You're putting in the work, but the results aren't showing up yet. This is where most people falter. They expect immediate rewards, and when those rewards don't come, they lose faith. They start to doubt the process, question their abilities, and look for easier paths. But the successful understand that momentum takes time to build. It's like pushing a heavy boulder. It's hardest at the start when you're fighting inertia. But once it starts moving, it becomes unstoppable. The key is to keep pushing, even when it feels like nothing is happening. This is why patience is so critical. Success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Most people are addicted to speed, craving instant results to validate their efforts. But the reality is, there's a delay between action and outcome. The work you do today might not pay off for weeks, months, or even years. That doesn't mean it's not working. Every effort you put in is laying the groundwork for future success. Every step you take is building momentum, even if you can't see it yet. The successful trust this process. They know that results come last, and they're willing to keep working until those results appear. Discipline is what sustains you through this delay. It's what keeps you moving when motivation fades, when doubts creep in, when distractions tempt you to stray. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's waking up early when you're exhausted, staying late when you're drained, and pushing forward when every fiber of your being wants to quit. Most people think discipline is about willpower, but it's more than that. It's about habits. The successful have trained themselves to act automatically, to execute without overthinking, to show up even when the odds are stacked against them. Building these habits requires intention. You don't become disciplined overnight, it's a skill you develop through repetition. Start small. Commit to one daily action that moves you closer to your goal. It could be waking up an hour earlier to work on your craft, saying no to distractions, or dedicating time to learning a new skill. Whatever it is, do it consistently. Over time, these small actions become second nature, and your discipline grows stronger. The more you practice showing up, the easier it becomes to stay committed, even when things get tough. Another critical aspect of success is mental toughness. The journey to greatness is filled with obstacles, setbacks, rejections, and failures that test your resolve. Most people let these challenges break them. They see a setback as a sign to stop, a rejection as a reason to give up. But the successful view these moments differently. They see obstacles as opportunities to grow, to learn, to become stronger. They understand that every challenge is a test, and how they respond will determine their future. Mental toughness isn't about being fearless, it's about acting despite fear. It's about pushing forward when you're uncertain, when you're scared, when you're doubting yourself. The successful don't wait for confidence to strike. They act and let confidence follow. They know that waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan is a recipe for stagnation. Clarity comes through action, not overthinking. The more you act, the clearer your path becomes. The more you execute, the less room there is for doubt. Failure, in particular, is a powerful teacher. Most people fear it, seeing it as a mark of inadequacy. But the successful embrace failure as a necessary part of the process. Every failure provides feedback, revealing what works and what doesn't. Every mistake is a chance to improve, to refine your approach, to get closer to your goal. The winners aren't afraid to fail, they're afraid of not trying. They know that hesitation is more dangerous than a wrong decision, because hesitation kills momentum, while failure fuels growth. This mindset shift is crucial. Instead of seeking perfection, aim for progress. Instead of avoiding mistakes, learn from them. Instead of waiting for guarantees, trust the process. The successful understand that there are no guarantees in life. You can do everything right and still fall short. But that doesn't mean you stop. It means you keep going, adjusting as you learn, refining your approach with every step. The willingness to fail, to learn, and to keep moving forward is what separates those who achieve from those who don't. Another trap to avoid is the need for validation. Most people crave approval. They want others to understand their journey, to support their efforts, to cheer them on. But seeking validation can be a dangerous distraction. It pulls you away from your focus, makes you question your path, and slows your progress. The truth is, most people won't understand your drive. They won't get why you're working so hard, why you're sacrificing comfort, why you're pushing yourself to the limit. And that's okay. Their understanding isn't required for your success. Your job isn't to explain yourself, it's to keep working. The opinions of others can be especially toxic when you start to succeed. As you rise, you'll notice resistance from those around you. People will question your ambition, call you obsessed, or tell you to slow down. This isn't because they want to sabotage you, it's because your growth makes them uncomfortable. Your discipline exposes their lack of effort, and instead of stepping up, they'll try to pull you back. This is why you must become mentally bulletproof. You can't let their doubts weaken your resolve or their insecurities slow your progress. Stay focused on your vision and let their words fall away like background noise. Tunnel vision is your greatest asset. Success requires you to block out distractions, to ignore the naysayers, to stay locked in on your goals. Most people get sidetracked by the need to be liked or the fear of standing out. They compromise their standards to fit in, lowering their ambitions to match those around them. But the successful don't care about fitting in. They care about winning. They set a standard so high that others can't comprehend it, and they hold themselves to that standard no matter what. This level of commitment requires sacrifice. You'll have to say no to things that feel good in the moment, late nights with friends, mindless scrolling, or the comfort of routine. You'll have to prioritize your goals over immediate gratification, choosing long-term success over short-term ease. This isn't easy. It's tempting to relax, to take the easy path, to blend in with the crowd. But every time you choose comfort over progress, you're delaying your success. The winners understand this, and they're willing to make the hard choices day after day until their vision becomes reality. The beauty of hard work is that it builds an unshakable foundation. When you push yourself to the limit, when you show up consistently, when you execute with discipline, you develop confidence, resilience, and momentum. These qualities become your armor, protecting you from doubt, fear, and setbacks. The more you work, the stronger you become, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. You start to trust yourself, to believe in your ability to overcome any obstacle. And once you reach that point, success is no longer a question of if, it's a question of when. Most people never reach this point because they're too focused on immediate results. They want to see progress right away, and when it doesn't happen, they give up. But the successful know that progress is often invisible at first. It's happening beneath the surface, building slowly until it erupts into something undeniable. The key is to keep going, to stay consistent, to trust that your efforts are adding up, even when you can't see the results yet. This is why you must stop attaching your work to the outcome. Most people work for the reward. They want to know their efforts are paying off. But the successful are motivated by the process itself. They trust that the work will lead to results, even if it takes longer than expected. They find satisfaction in the grind, in the act of showing up and giving their all. This mindset frees them from the need for instant gratification, allowing them to stay focused through the ups and downs. The journey to success is a test of endurance. It's not about who starts the fastest or who has the most talent, it's about who lasts the longest. The ones who win are the ones who keep showing up, who keep pushing, who refuse to quit no matter how tough it gets. They understand that the breakthrough always comes after the resistance, that the moment you feel like giving up is the moment you need to push harder. This is where most people fail. They stop when things get hard, when progress feels slow, when the results aren't immediate. But you won't make that mistake. You'll keep going, trusting the process, knowing that every step you take is bringing you closer to your goal. The reality of success is that it's not glamorous. It's not about big wins or flashy moments. It's about the quiet, consistent work you do when no one is watching. It's about the early mornings, the late nights, the moments when you push through exhaustion and doubt. It's about staying disciplined when the world is telling you to relax. Staying focused when distractions are everywhere. Staying committed when others have given up. This is what separates the winners from the rest. Not talent, not luck, but an unrelenting work ethic. As you move forward, you'll face increasing resistance. Not just from within, but from the world around you. People will question your drive, criticize your ambition, and try to pull you back to their level. But you must stay strong. You must protect your vision, guard your energy, and refuse to let their doubts derail you. Your success is not their responsibility, it's yours. You don't need their approval or their understanding. You need only your own commitment, your own discipline, your own relentless drive to keep going. The path to success is already laid out before you. The opportunities are there, waiting for you to claim them. The results are possible if you're willing to work for them. The question is not whether you're capable, it's whether you're willing to pay the price. Are you willing to wake up every day and push yourself harder than everyone else? Are you willing to stay disciplined when motivation fades? Are you willing to endure the discomfort, the setbacks, the failures, and keep going? If you are, if you stay locked in, if you keep executing with unwavering focus, success will become inevitable. This journey is yours to take. The choice is yours to make. You can stay comfortable, blending in with the crowd, settling for an average life. Or you can choose to rise above, to push yourself beyond your limits, to work harder than anyone else. The winners aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who made the choice to keep going, no matter what. They're the ones who refused to quit, who stayed disciplined through the struggle, who trusted the process even when the results were nowhere in sight. That's the secret to unstoppable success. Not talent, not luck, but an unbreakable commitment to hard work. So make the choice today. Decide to be the person who shows up, who pushes through, who outworks everyone else. Decide to be the person who refuses to settle, who embraces discomfort, who stays disciplined no matter what. Because if you make that choice, if you commit to that path, there's nothing you can't achieve. The life you want, the success you dream of, it's all within reach. All it takes is the willingness to work harder, longer, and more consistently than anyone else. That's the secret, that's the key, and that's the path to unstoppable success. Let's expand on this further, diving into the nuances of what it means to live a life of discipline and hard work. The concept of hard work is often misunderstood. People equate it with physical labor or long hours, but it's so much more than that. Hard work is a mindset, a refusal to accept mediocrity, a commitment to excellence, and a relentless pursuit of your goals. It's about showing up mentally and emotionally, not just physically. It's about giving your all, even when the task feels mundane, even when the results are uncertain, even when the world seems to be against you. One of the biggest obstacles to success is the temptation to compare yourself to others. In a world of social media and instant connectivity, it's easy to look at someone else's highlight reel and feel like you're falling behind. But comparison is a trap. It distracts you from your own path, pulling your focus away from the work you need to do. The successful don't waste time comparing themselves to others. They focus on their own progress, their own goals, their own standards. They know that the only competition that matters is the one with themselves, the challenge to be better today than they were yesterday. This focus on self-improvement is what drives long-term success. It's not about outdoing someone else. It's about outdoing your past self. It's about setting new benchmarks, raising your standards, and pushing yourself to new heights. The successful are never satisfied with where they are. They're always striving for more, always looking for ways to grow, always seeking opportunities to improve. This relentless drive for self-betterment is what sets them apart. Another key aspect of hard work is the ability to stay present. Most people get caught up in the past or the future, regretting mistakes they've made or worrying about what lies ahead. But the successful focus on the now. They understand that the only moment they can control is the present, and they make the most of it. They don't waste time dwelling on failures or daydreaming about success. They channel their energy into the task at hand, giving it their full attention and effort. This ability to stay present is closely tied to discipline. Discipline isn't just about doing the work. It's about doing it with focus and intention. It's about eliminating distractions, saying no to temptations, and staying locked in on your priorities. In a world full of noise, endless notifications, competing demands, and constant distractions, this is no easy feat. But the successful have mastered the art of focus. They've trained themselves to tune out the chaos and zero in on what matters most. They know that every moment spent distracted is a moment lost, and they're not willing to sacrifice their progress for fleeting pleasures. Resilience is another critical component of success. The journey is never smooth. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments when everything seems to go wrong. Most people let these moments define them, using them as an excuse to give up. But the successful see setbacks as temporary, as opportunities to learn and grow. They don't let a single failure derail their entire journey. Instead, they analyze what went wrong, adjust their approach, and keep moving forward. This resilience is what allows them to weather the storms of life and come out stronger on the other side. It's also worth noting that success isn't just about working hard, it's about working smart. The successful don't just throw effort at a problem and hope for the best. They're strategic, constantly evaluating their approach, looking for ways to optimize their efforts. They seek out mentors, study their craft, and learn from those who have gone before them. They're not afraid to ask for help or admit when they don't know something. This willingness to learn and adapt is what allows them to maximize their impact and achieve results faster. At the same time, hard work requires balance. Burning yourself out in a frenzy of effort is not sustainable. The successful understand the importance of pacing themselves, of taking care of their physical and mental health so they can keep going for the long haul. They prioritize rest, not as a luxury, but as a necessity, a way to recharge their energy and maintain their focus. They know that success is a marathon, not a sprint, and they're in it for the long game. One of the most powerful aspects of hard work is the confidence it builds. When you push yourself beyond your limits, when you show up day after day, when you overcome obstacles and keep going, you start to believe in yourself. You realize that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. This self-belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you trust yourself, the more you achieve, and the more you achieve, the more you trust yourself. It's a virtuous cycle that fuels unstoppable success. Ultimately, success is about ownership. You are the architect of your own destiny. No one else is going to do the work for you. No one else is going to push you to be your best. It's up into you to take responsibility for your goals, to make the daily choices that move you forward, to stay committed even when the path gets tough. The world is full of people who want success, but aren't willing to do what it takes. Don't be one of them. Be the person who shows up, who works harder than everyone else, who refuses to quit. Be the person who chooses discipline over comfort, action over hesitation, progress over excuses. The opportunities are out there, waiting for you to seize them. The life you want is within reach, but it's not going to come to you. You have to go get it. You have to be willing to work harder, to sacrifice more, to endure longer than anyone else. That's the price of greatness, and it's a price worth paying. Because when you look back on your life, you won't regret the effort you put in. You won't regret the sacrifices you made or the obstacles you overcame. You'll regret the chances you didn't take, the work you didn't do, the dreams you didn't chase. So start today. Make the choice to be different. Commit to outworking everyone else, to staying disciplined through the struggle, to pushing forward no matter what. The path to success is clear. It's paved with hard work, discipline, and resilience. Take the first step and keep going. Because if you do, if you stay locked in, if you refuse to quit, success will find you. Not because of luck, not because of talent, but because you were willing to do what most people won't. That's the secret to unstoppable success, and it's yours for the taking.